Giving everything I got to a team, everything. There's times that all the money I had, we went to dinner, and the last dollar I had, I was like, oh, like, you guys want to eat? I'm like, oh, please say no, please say no. I'm like, yes. I'm like, oh, damn. And then they said yes, so I'm like, okay, I'm counting how much money. I'm like, dude, I only have $100 left, and I'm counting what it is. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna have enough money to eat. So then, and when it comes to me, they're like, what are you gonna eat? And I'm like, you know what? My stomach's hurting, I'm gonna be good. And I wouldn't order, so my team can eat and I won't eat. And I didn't feel sorry for myself. And man, was I hungry. Like, are you sure you don't want nothing? I'm like, no, I'm good. And I remember having to stay the night in San Diego because I didn't have enough gas money to come back the next morning because I had other appointments. So I slept over at the freaking park in my car, and I wasn't feeling like, oh man, poor me. I'm like, dude, this is why I'm gonna win. One day I'm gonna tell this story, people are gonna get inspired. I'm hyping myself up. I could have been the other person in the car saying, man, what am I doing? Maybe I should go back and work for my dad, or should I go get a job? Like, man, at least I had food there. I did that. Like, I could have been playing victim, but I'm like, what good is that gonna do for my future? I made a decision to say, like, man, this is gonna give me an edge. Man, nobody wants, like, I deserve success. Look at the effort I'm putting in. And guys, our team started growing. It started blowing up. I was doing good. I remember that team, we had 50 plus people showing up to a meeting, all adults. I was 22, and all adults, like 30 years old, 40 years old. I'm like, my goodness, dude, like adults follow me. I felt so very cool. Like, I'm making money. I'm like, dude, thank you, God. Like, all my sacrifices, everything, like, it's happening. And just like that, like, they're like, hey, you're about to get promoted to RVP, Mario. Like, this is it. You got it. I'm like, dude, my promotion exchange is in place. I got a team that I'm gonna take with me. I'm like, God is so good. I show up to the following meeting. I have a guest speaker, Susan and Art. They're about to come speak, and nobody's at the meeting. Let's say you show up here, and you're like, wait a minute. Did they change the time or something that we missed it? I was literally like, check if they changed the time or something. Like, did the hour change? I was literally thinking that. Like, did we get here that early? I never get there. And it's the entire team quit. The entire team. And they wouldn't even text me back or call me back. I'm like, dude, at least text me back. I was like, literally, we're like, dude, something happened. There's no way. Like, these are people that I built a relationship with for 2 years. That some of these guys will let me stay in their couch sometimes. There's no way they would at least text me back. And one person like, Mario, you don't deserve this, but we're so embarrassed. This is what happened. They send me a text. I can't answer your call. I don't know how to tell you. All of us went to another company. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, what? And I kept on blowing up like, please, somebody. Not one of them answered me. And the whole time back, I try to like keep it in a little bit while Susan and Art were with me. I'm like, it's all right, like I got it, we did it once, we'll do it again. Hell no, I was broken. I'm like, dude, I'm done. What am I gonna do? I dropped them off, and as soon as we dropped them off, all the way home, I was just crying and crying, and I would look at Freddie, and we would cry even more. Like, don't look at me like, oh my God, like, what are we gonna do? And guys, I'm like, it's all right, we got this. Like, I remember I'm like, we're gonna figure it out. She's like, but we got this bill coming up and this. I'm like, it's all right, we know how to personally produce, we'll get it going. You know, like, I didn't know what to do. I was just trying to give her hope so she could stop crying because she was freaking out. And it was freaking me out more. And I remember being in the car, and I remember like it was yesterday, I actually punched my steering wheel. I'm like, you know what, Freddie? Don't worry. And she's like, what do you mean don't worry? I'm like, Freddie, one day they're gonna regret this. I promise you. One day someone's gonna prospect them and ask them to join Primerica, and they're like, oh no, like I already did that deal, really with who? And they're gonna say with Mario and Franny Arrizon, the person prospecting is gonna drop their stuff and say, really? You're working with Mario and Franny Arrizon? Do you know they're the youngest $1 million earners in company history? And Franny's like, you think so, babe? I'm like, it's gonna happen, you mark my words. And it's crazy, a couple of years later, that's exactly what happened.
Woo!
I know it sounds crazy, but in those times, it got a little bit worse before it got better. This young lady I was talking to today, she was like, Mara, I feel like I'm starting from ground zero and it's been 2 years, like everything I put in, it feels like I'm starting from ground zero. I'm like, I wish I was in your shoes 2 years into the business. 3 years into the business, I was negative. I was in ground zero, I was negative. 6,000 in chargebacks for me, 6,000 under my wife. I was negative 9,000. Imagine starting not from zero, but like, hey, you're negative $9,000 before you make any money. I wish I was from ground zero. I'm like, girl, you have a lot more experience. Guys, it's not that bad. Everything's there to grow, to help you grow. I promise you, I needed that. I didn't know I was this tough until that's the only thing I had is to like man up, toughen up. What am I gonna do, throw in the towel? Imagine I did that. Guys, look, we all go through crap, yes or no?
Yes.
Raise your hand if you went through crap or are currently going through crap. Raise your hand. Now, look at this. If you didn't raise your hand, you already put the order not. At least go like this. But let's be honest. Okay, every one of us. I want you to look around the room. Look, raise your hand if you're going through crap or currently or went through crap. Look, raise your hand. Look around the room. Here's the difference. Here's the difference. You're here, and there's other people that are probably more talented. Probably could have been even, they were probably beating you at one time. Where are they? The difference is you didn't give up and you are here. Who wins here? The people that just don't give up and they keep on getting better. Don't be like, I'm still here, but you're the same person. No, I'm still here, but every time you fall, pick something up with you. Every single time you go to an event, what are some nuggets that I'm going to apply today, that I'm going to change today, that I'm going to start teaching today? I don't want you to go to events just, oh, another good event, and then 3 months go by. Like, no. What have you grown from? What have you applied from last event to this event? Every event, you must grow team size, but most importantly, up here, growth. And guys, I promise you, if you grow up here every single day, like, dude, I'm growing, I'm getting better. Guys, you grow up here, game over. You start attracting money. You start attracting greatness. I don't chase money. Money chases me now because I chose growth. I'm going to be the greatest version of myself. People prospect me all the time. That's crazy. Like, I don't, once in a while, I'm like, oh, this person's sharp. I'm going to get their information. The majority of the time, I'm dressed sharp, right? The way I carry myself, my energy. I'm not always like this, or I thought, damn, that guy's on crack, okay, what the heck? No way. This is my stage talk. I'm fired up. I want to share my heart, my passion with you guys. I'm not going to be like this, but I hold that controlled enthusiasm when I'm talking to someone like, man, I can change your life. They feel it that I love it. I don't have to tell them, they feel it. Do you guys follow me here?
Yep.
Guys, I know it sounds crazy, but I love when people get hit with adversity. Because that's where you see what type of character they really have. Mm-hmm. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
And guys, look, do you think, I'm just being 100% honest with you. Do you think when I got hit with adversity multiple times, let's be real, and it happened to me with Tony one time. I was training Tony, and Tony had a beard, and he looked like more matured, and I was like, no facial hair. I'm like, God, come on, I'm 22, give me some facial hair. I had no facial hair. I still look like I was freaking like 18, 16 years old. I remember knocking on people's door, and we got referred. I'm like, Tony, this is our pro, let's go together. And they're like, they open the door, I'm like, wait a minute. Who's the trainer here? Like, are you training the kid or the kid training you? And I'm like, oh, like, I'm wait until you're like, no. I got kids older than you. You're not going to teach me about finances. No, thank you. And they would close the door. Like, mean. And I'm like, oh, shoot, Tony, am I bleeding, dude? And he's like, no, why? I'm like, bro, can you believe people quit over that? They act like they got hit or something. Like, bro, this is why we're going to be millionaires one day, bro. Let's go. And I'm firing him up. I drop him off. Do you think I felt sorry for myself and I cried like a little baby? You think I did that?
Yes.
Absolutely. 1,000% yes. I'm human. I'm like, oh my God, I suck at this thing. And not just by myself or in front of my team. How embarrassing. The one guy that thinks I'm a leader and crazy. I'm telling them this freaking works, and they're closing doors in front of me. Think about that. And I'm like, oh, I suck at this thing. But I kept on getting better. I kept on showing up. Like, man, what can I do? What can I do that I get even better at? You guys follow me here? And then I said, Tony, it's your fault. That's what a leader does, right? He's like, what the hell? I'm like, bro, you didn't edify me enough, bro. That's why they talk to me like that, right? And he's like, well, you didn't tell me. I'm like, all right, bro, now you know. I really did. I don't know how he stuck around. I was such a bad leader. I literally, something happened, like, it's your fault, bro. Like, they did that to me. Poor Tony. He was my guinea pig, right? So, poor guy. Like, I raised my hand and give him a high five, because I'm going to hit him. Like, no, bro, that's like the old me, right? It's like you adopted a beat-up dog or something, right? Like that. Poor guy. And so, I'm really not that bad, okay? I'm exaggerating. But let me tell you. So, it's called, and I want you guys to master this, because it's going to increase your sales like you wouldn't believe. And then we can ask some questions. But it's called the edification triangle. All right, guys? This is an absolute game changer. I mean, game changer. It's so good. It's so good that if you do it correctly, you don't even need to present. I know it sounds crazy. You should present, because that's the duplication part of it. But it's so good that if you do it correctly, I promise it is crazy, especially in the warm and hot market, you're going to get crazy results. So let me give you an example. So Jalen, let's say I'm field training you. So Jalen, come over here on this side if you don't mind. And let's say we're sitting down with Mick Lane, all right? Mick Lane's your best friend. Mick Lane, if you don't mind, come over here. Be my other model over here. Look at this, all right? So this is what happens. So here's the deal. So the way this works is let's say I'm the field trainer, so if you can put a triangle on your page, this is super important. Like, I knew it, you guys are a pyramid, wow. All right, look at this. Okay, so you ready for this? So on top of it, the priority is we got to get results. So on top of this is the prospect / friend. Write that down, prospect / friend. On either corner, doesn't matter, it's going to be the trainee, and on the other side, it's going to be the expert. So if you can write that down. So on top is the prospect / friend, trainee, and expert. Does that make sense? Yeah. All right, let's see someone that has it. Can I see yours really quick? Just an example. Just like this. Perfect. And it isn't just prospect, friend, trainee, expert. Right, guys? So, thank you. So let me give you an example. In an appointment, let's say it's a recurring appointment, closing appointment, whatever it is, field training appointment. I don't just go see Mick Lane. I'm going to ask Jalen, why is Mick Lane, like, why do we got to see her? What's important to her? Like, why is she a good friend? You'd be surprised. That's your friend. They always talk. She's like, man, my job's not enough, blah, 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 whatever it is. Like, man, I need to help my husband. He's so stressed out, he has another job, whatever it might be. Why is she a good friend? And it can be anything. Hey, when my sister got really ill, when my mom got really ill, Jalen, Mick Lane was the greatest friend. I would ask other friends for help, family, and guess what? They were not even there, but Mick Lane every day checked up on me, showed up, was there for my mom. She's the greatest friend ever. Great, you guys, I'm jotting all that down. So when I go to that appointment, I teach Jalen how to edify me. She needs to make me the expert. Because if I try to explain, well, my name is Mario Arrizon, and I'm a $1 million, and blah, 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 like, I sound freaking arrogant. You guys follow me here? Yeah. But if she does it, it makes me an expert. Are we good on this? Yes. Very important. So, Jalen goes to the appointment. First thing she does is thank her. And I tell her, look, you're going to thank her for giving me an appointment, this means so much to you, and then you got to identify me as the expert. If you do that, game over. I'll take care of the rest. And I tell her what to say about me. Whatever it is, like you got to have something. Hey, I'm one of the top certified trainers. Whatever it might be. Let's say Jalen says like, hey, Mick Lane, thank you so much for sitting down with us today. Like doing this training for me. I'm gonna get my license. Me and Steve are gonna be doing this. And she's like, man, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. And she's like, of course, anything for you. And one thing that she needs to do is kind of set up an expectation for her. She's like, Mario, and it's a third party. Like, if you think I'm good, you should have seen when we had to sell Girl Scout cookies, or we had to raise money for the kids. Like, oh my goodness, if I was behind, she helped me. She's so darn good. She's so good at sales. If she's seen what I've seen, she's gonna do better than me. Something like that. Do you guys follow me here? So now she wants to raise up to that expectation. She's like, I am that person, right? And then she edifies me as an expert. And Mario, thank you so much taking time from your busy schedule. McLean, you don't understand, Mario's so darn busy, he's going out of his way to train me on doing this. Thank you so much, Coach. I'm super grateful that you're doing this. Whatever it is, like, man, he has this much money under management. So many people, he's booked out 2 weeks ahead of time, but he moved the schedule for me. Thank you. Right away, she's like, wow, this guy's important. He's an expert, yes?
Yes.
So she edified the prospect / friend and identified the expert. You guys follow me here? Yes. So now, my job is to give it back to her. My job is to tell her, man, that's why I love working with her. Man, you know, so how can I say, like, what I really do is, like, Jillian, that's why I love working with you. You're gonna be very successful. You have an attitude of gratitude, and like, how can you not want to help out someone like that? And sometimes our friends are like, yes, that's who she is. Thank you for helping my friend. And you, I couldn't wait to meet you. And she's like, oh yeah, salesman. Then I anchor it with some truth. No, for real. I'm not just saying this. She told me what you did for her when her mom was sick. That you're one of the greatest friends she's ever had. So I'm not just saying, like, oh, I heard you're a great friend. Ah, it's salesman talk. That's so superficial. But when I anchor it with a truth, she's like, he's not lying. I am that. I've never had someone like, oh, this guy makes me feel great. I don't like him.
Right?
Ever. It's like, I can be telling her, hey, we're selling water. You want to sell water with? Like, sure, I'll buy a package. What can I do? I'll sell it around the neighborhood. She'll do that just to help out her friend, and like, you guys follow me here?
Yes.
But what we do changes lives, yes or no?
Yes.
When you show them the value of what we do for families, how to create generational wealth, how to protect themselves, that if something happens, their family's not totally financially struck. Like, guys, this is a big deal, yes or no?
Yes.
So when we show them value, game over. But it's how you set the foundation of the appointment, how the appointment's gonna move forward. Have you been in those appointments where they're not even paying attention to you? They don't even want to turn on their camera? Or they're just trying, no, I'm cooking. Has that ever happened to you?
Yes.
Or you've been on an appointment and they're just like, I'm listening, just go. You know why? And if that hasn't happened to me, you know whose fault that is? Mine. You know why? Because I didn't do a good enough job with Jolene to tell him, hey, I'm sorry. Do we need to come back again? Friend, I love you. Like, I didn't tell you who Mario is. Like, his time is super busy. Let's come back again because I don't want to disrespect this family. He's going out of his way to help me out. Can you sit down with me, friend, or we can reschedule it? She's like, oh, I didn't know it was that important. Yeah, let's do it. They don't know. That's just their friend. It's their job to do that. And if it's not happening, like, that's why I did love face-to-face appointments, because if I needed Jolene to step in, I just tap her like, hey, if I tap you, please shut up. Or please, I tap you like, speak up, okay? Now with Zoom, it's awesome too. Like, hey, say something, Jolene. All right, like I just text her, right? Like, I'm just being real with you. It's always an edge on anything. Are we good on that? Yeah. The only thing I liked about when I was doing a kitchen table, I think it's a little bit different. Like, it's easier to get a close. It really is when you're face to face than just the Zoom. So that's why I'm telling you, if you can build locally, build locally. Don't stop building on Zoom. That's amazing. But there's nothing like building a team locally. You're going to get way more results. And doesn't this feel good to have? Imagine this is your base shop. You call a meeting, and this is your base shop. Yeah. Would that be amazing?
Yeah.
Like, dude, I got something brewing.
Not your cat or dog in the
Every one of
room.
you guys, mark my words. By the end of the year, you can have a meeting that you call a meeting, and this is your team attendance just for your base. How many believe that can happen? If you don't, you're 100% right. But if you do believe, game over. I promise you, you put the action passion behind it. It's just a matter of time. And guys, it's on you. And this is super important. So did you guys get the matrix of this?
Yes.
Look, when I work this business, I never recruit people by onesies. Like, it doesn't work that way. I recruit them by two, 3, or 4 people that I'm building up to district leader at the same time, and I'm getting them to compete. Like, hey, coach, I have appointments. I'm like, well, you gotta wait till these days because Jolene has me booked these days. She's like, what? I create that competition even when I'm field training them. Like, I introduce them, hey ladies, guess what? I'm working with only you 2 to help you get here. Here's my schedule. Whoever books it out this day, that's how. And when it was driving, I'm like, I couldn't just go to one appointment with her, one appointment, like, hey, you gotta book out 2 or more appointments to get trained by me that day. Because I'm not just gonna drive to one appointment and do, I would do that for we can stick around all day. Now with Zoom, we can hop off and be in New York one time, California the next appointment. It's crazy, right guys? We have an advantage, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, but the key is sticking with one person and building them up. So let me help you with this. I recruit, you know what? I was gonna pick on you one more time. I'm so sorry. But no, you did right. I usually leave people on stage for a long time. She knows me better, right? She's watched me so many times. So what I do is right away, look at this, guys. I promise you can build your attendance like this. Right away, I'm like, okay, what do we need to do? Let's get you 3 people on your team. 4 or 3 people that would join your team just because it's you. Like, you're doing it, they're in. We all have friends like, oh, if I'm doing this, I know. If I'm doing something, I can get 3 people easily to do whatever the heck I'm doing. You guys follow me? All right, they're my friends. Like, hey, let's go here, let's go out, let's go. You guys follow me? Who are your 3? Who are also your 3 that you know that if something happened in the middle of the night, let's say AAA ain't working, and man, your tire popped, your engine went out, something, they need to go pick you up. Who is it going to be? Who do you know you can, and I get those names, I get those numbers. And right away, we contact them together. Guys, this is super important. Most people, all right, contact them, set the appointment, call me back. You're leaving your success and their success in their hands. 90% of the time, you're gonna fail. You gotta do it with them. They can set up their own appointments if they want, but you gotta be there with them. Are we good on that?
Yes. Yes.
Do it through Zoom. If you want, like, three-way call, whatever, but you gotta be on with them to set them up in case something goes south. Are we good?
Yes.
I had, just an example, a gentleman that his dad was so negative. If I would have let him, I'm just letting you know, set up that appointment with his dad by himself, his dad would have took him out of the business. He was so negative, he's like, dude, so no. What do you mean you're doing something else? What about school? You already started school. You can't multitask. Like, Primerica, I heard of that. That doesn't work. You're gonna go to school. I was on the phone, I'm like, he didn't even let him speak. I'm like, hey, my trainer's right here. I'm like, hey, Victor Sr., I understand where you're coming from, 100%. I'm not gonna let your son just drop, like, no way. You gotta meet me. I need to show you what he's gonna be doing. Like, honestly, I just not interested and I don't want him to do this. And I said, I can respect that, but I promise you never met someone like me. Once we sit down and you feel that way, I'll respect that decision from you. He's like, okay, come over. I'm available for like 15 minutes tonight. I went over there. Dad was scary as hell. He was like angry, big dude. He's like, what are you convincing my son to do? Who are you? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, hey sir, like, I'm not gonna tell him to stop school or nothing. Like, no way. If anything, on the weekends, instead of him partying and everything, guess what? He's with me. You're gonna see the way he dresses, the way he talks. You want him around someone like myself that's gonna mentor him the right way. You watch if your son's not different in 90 days or less, the way he carries himself, the way he dresses. And instead of weekends, you're worried about if he's partying, what is he doing? He's with me. You don't know you want that for your son? In worst case scenario, he gets an insurance license, an investment license, by the way, that we paid for. Worst case scenario, he has knowledge on how money works. When whatever career he gets to going to college, he'll be better off knowing how money works than being clueless. Wouldn't you agree, sir? He's like, damn, you're good. All right, I'm actually already a client. The company's good, and he was a client. The father is Victor Sr. His son is Victor Relas Jr. Victor is a regional vice president in my business, makes over $200,000 a year, but not just that, the ripple effect. Out of Victor, I want you to think about this. So Victor was Mern Billy's replacement. Okay? So out of Victor came Hyman, that's a $100,000 earner. Then Hyman left Emmanuel and Juan. Juan makes $400,000 a year. Emmanuel makes over close to $200,000 a year. Think about the ripple effect, how many people would have got affected if I would have just let Victor, how many good people we lose because their parents discourage them from the business. You know what Victor Sr. started calling me? He's like, hey, Mario, I don't care if my son doesn't make a dime. The way he dresses, the way he conducts himself in the house with his sisters. Thank you. Thank you. My son is different. Thank you. When he sees me, he gives me the biggest hug, like, thank you, change our family, like our family. Thank you. Guys, you back down like it's something bad. Like, what we do, is it right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Then why you give up so easily? Felt like, hey, I know how you feel. I felt the same way, but you know what I found out? It's who you're working with. Someone might have introduced the company the wrong way. Let me tell you why I do this. I'm different. Why I love this company. Guys, don't back down. Some people push just to see if you really believe in what you got. I'm serious. And as soon as they push you, you fold up like a cheap tent as soon as a little wind hits.
Oh dear.
That's how much you believe in this. I wouldn't follow you. You know, I follow Susan. That adversity hits, and adversity is like, we're gonna do this. I'm like, damn, this like is crazy. I can follow, like she really believes in this thing. Made me believe. You guys follow me? So look, let's say, just to pick on an example, look how fast you can start building up momentum. All right? So I get my girl to get her 3x3, and I'll promote her around the office like, dude, she knocked out her 3x3 in 3 days. This girl's like, every day we got 1x1, so get 3 people on her team. Recruit 3 people, please. Boom, 3. You want to come over here? Give my volunteers a hand. Look at this. So she got 3 out of 3. Guess what? The new girl, she got it done in 3 days. You think we can do it in 2? Everyone's talking about her right now. She's like, let's go. Guys, we get it done in 2 days. Like, we get her 3x3 done in 2 days. Now I got 1 rabbit and I got another rabbit, right? Go get 3. So whatever 3 you need to get, let's do it. All right, let's do it. Sorry, we're putting you on blast up here. Look at this, 3. So now I'm talking about Jalen. I'm talking about Mika Lang. Like, man, these are my superstars. This is what we're doing. We're recognizing them. And look, monkey see, monkey do. Like, man, I want to get my promotion. I want to get recognized, right? So now I'm like, hey, who wants? Hey, she got it done in 2 days.
Done today.
Yeah.
And it happens. No BS. It happens. Dude, you want to break the record? You want to just like, yes. And like literally, she'll get it done in 1 day. And now she's the new superstar everyone's talking about. And I make sure she doesn't get jealous. Like, you want that. Like, you want that your team, because now her getting the district gets you to 60%. It helps you move up faster. You want to be encouraging your people to be doing that. Okay, let's do it, because they can get competitive against, like, you need to stop helping her, coach. All right, it happens all the time. They're worse than children, yes or no, right, guys? Have you guys experienced that? Even with their own team, they're telling like, what? Like, no, that's a good thing. So now look what happens. She gets it done in 3 days. But these girls are inspired, and like, man, hey, no matter if you do it in a day or 2, let's say you're going to do it on that. Still get it done. We have a week left. We have 2 weeks. Each one of you go get 3. And Jalen, don't stop. Go get 3 too. So each one of you guys do the same thing. Each one of you guys go get 3. Each one of you guys do. But we're going to have to like step back over here.
I'm trying to.
It's my turn. So look what happens. Just like that, hey, I got a good team brewing, yes or no? Yes. Then when I start doing, I got a team like this, I keep on challenging them to do this, but I also do meeting attendance competition. I'm gonna let them know, let's see what team wants it more. Hey, for the next meeting that we're gonna have, let's say we have a meeting, we're gonna have Let's pick 2 neutral colors that everyone pretty much has, either white or black, right guys? You're gonna put purple? All right, we gotta pick. Come on, purple, get up here, man.
Go purple!
Hey, she wants you to do business.
She gets the whole back.
Oh shit! So look at this. Look, hey, they're ready to go. I love it. So look at this. Hold on. All right, this is what we're gonna do. So split this way, and watch. I want Nicolay be over here, Jen be over here. All right. So look, this is what we're gonna do. I create a competition on attendance. Guys, this works. 1,000% it works. You probably heard me talk about it before, but we haven't applied it, and it doesn't work if you do it every week. It works once in a while when you have momentum like this to explode it to another level. I've had teams call me like, Mario, our meeting attendance quadrupled. We literally went from 50 people showing up to 200 people showing up with this. All right? This works. It's not theory. It's not maybe. It works. But you gotta follow what I'm gonna show you. This is the formula. This is gonna be the black team, and this is gonna be the white team. What does that mean? That day, everyone on this team is gonna wear white, like white tops. Everyone on this team is gonna wear what, guys? Black. So what we do is a sign-in sheet in the beginning, and they welcome everybody, and and even you guys that they're inviting, like, hey, we're having an attendance competition. Can you please wear white? Everyone says, can you wear black? They do that, like, yeah. Like, hey, by the way, if you know anybody, help us win. New people are bringing people and they don't even know what it is. I know it sounds crazy, but like, yeah, I got you. Let's go. Afterwards, we're we're gonna hang out afterwards, but we're doing an attendance competition. We're gonna get the most people there. Dude, people are so competitive, and you realize who the ones are that you want to work with. You guys follow me? Oh yeah. Okay, so we do this competition, and what happens is on Tuesday night, let's say that's our op night or our training night or whatever we're doing to do a competition, this is what happens, okay guys? And to help us with do you guys mind going like behind over here just because I'm going to show you something cool. So they can see you and you guys can pay attention, we don't block everybody. You guys are good right there. All right, let's start. Ready? So look at this. So we have neutral people taking attendance, neutral. They don't let them know who it is, but everyone's signing in on Jalen's team, right? They're writing down their attendance, like they come in, like who invited you? All right, you're wearing white, you're part of the white team. All right, perfect, let's do it. You're wearing black, all right, part of the black team. Everyone's wearing black. There's guests like, oh, I couldn't find nothing black. Rare, or white, but that's why we do the attendance regardless. So we have 2 sheets. We don't let them know. These guys are so competitive. Their team's like, who's winning? Who's winning? Like they're looking through the media like, nope, we're not sharing it, we're covering it. And on Sunday night, we reveal it. Like or whatever, but we do it on Sunday night. We have it's called the pink shirt and popcorn party, all right guys? So what this means is on Sunday night, we have a team party. And we just watch a movie together. And the losing team has to serve the winning team. And you get t-shirts for cheap online, like $1 or $2, like pink t-shirts. And the losing team has to wear a pink t-shirt, and they get to write whatever they want, like Jolene is my hero, my boss, like freedom dies here, like just like they write like some funny stuff on their shirt, and they have fun with it. All right, it's pretty cool. And then the pink shirts have to serve the winning shirts. All right, guys, the ones that didn't. It's pretty awesome. So we get all the attendance. Our attendance erupts. Minimum, we grow by 100%. Minimum, every time. But there's sometimes the growth is 300, 400, 500% growth in one night of attendance. This is what happens. Look at this. On Sunday, we reveal the list. You guys don't know who won. And we say, all right, and the winning team is the black team. And they blow up like, yeah! All right? Sorry. So look what happens here. She's so competitive. Coach? Damn. Look at this, right? So I love it. Right, so look, yes, I did. So look what happens. So now we have like bags of pink t-shirts, we give it to the winning team, and actually, like, here, toss them to your competitor that's gonna put on their pink t-shirt. We have these Sharpies. They get to write whatever they want. And I'm like, all right, guys, you guys get the best seats in the house, and they're gonna serve you popcorn and drinks, whatever you want. And dude, they're pissed, and they want a rematch. They're like, we want a rematch. I'm like, all right, you get one rematch. One rematch. But if they beat you again, this team showed you that you can't compete with them no more. Like, you can't compete with them for the rest of the year. They're just much better than you guys. They just want more than you guys. Dude, oh my goodness. And guys, it happens. They're like, guys, we gotta get serious this time. There's no way we're gonna lose to them. That was embarrassing. And we run it again. And you know what sometimes happens? This team actually beats them. Yeah. Right? But we say, hey, nope, we're not doing another movie night. It was just for pride. Just to revenge, like, right? And we do it. And then I'm like, you guys want to do a tiebreaker? And she's like, heck yeah, we want a tiebreaker, right? Like they want it, and we do it one more time if it happens. Now, if they beat them twice, it's done. Are we good on that? It's done. So this is one way that we do it. If I have two teams that are growing together. What if I don't have two teams that are growing together? All right? This is what happens. Super important. So that's one way. This is the funnest way. The easiest way to do it this way. The other way gets a little bit more personal, but it also works. All right? So I got my two team captains, and the way I pick it is who did the most personal production last month in the base? Who did the most? And if we're plugging in between multiple RVPs, that I recommend you do that until you grow so much that you can't do it with other RVPs. But you do a co-op night, and let's say these were my top two producers from everybody. The way we do it is we mix it up, because sometimes we get immune to our same coaches. And when they have a different coach, they listen, they step up. So this is what happens. I have my two team captains, okay? And based on production, Jalen, what'd you do last month? She's like, I did 13 grand personal. Nicolene, what'd you do? I did 11. So she picks first. Are we good? So out of everybody here in the crowd, just let's say this is the team. All right, who are you going to pick that you think, and both sides, will bring the most people to the meeting? Like, who do you pick?
Steve Moore.
Steve Moore. All right, perfect. Right? So,
Yeah.
So Steve, all right. Cheers. All right, so look at this. Who are you going to pick?
Disclaimer.
All right, so I tell him, hey, this is a big deal. This is your coach is telling you. And you know what I try to do? She's like, all right. Yeah. So let me give you an example.
Yeah, Jillian wants action tonight.
That's right. So I want you to listen to me on this. This is super important. So I make it a big deal. Be careful who you pick first, because this is your first draft pick. Like you're saying, I believe this person's going to bring the most people here. So we start picking people. Boom, 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 boom. Let's say, just an example, let's leave you three, everyone else get a seat. Everyone else get a seat. We start picking teams, except for you guys, you guys can see. While we're picking people, by the way, just an example. So everyone got picked, pretend they're here, and they're in a huddle. And they're like, who are we going to pick? Who are we going to pick? And I give a tip, guys, it's not the old dogs that bring the most people. It's the new people that bring the new people. And it's great. They're the ones that bring the most new people. All right? So focus on the new people. Not just this person's been around 10 years, but he hasn't brought someone new in 10 years. Okay, guys? It's the new person that's excited, that wants to share this opportunity with everybody. Those are the ones that bring everybody. You guys follow me? So they're huddling up. They're like, all right, who are you going to pick next? And they pick them. And they pick, and they're doing this. But it comes down to like the last three. And now,
We got him.
so like,
On this
side.
chair.
Let's go.
Tell us why we're picking you. Choose for the chair. Come on. We were doing it all day. Yeah, let's go.
He was behind us every recognition.
I'm like, dang. Guys, like you guys are getting picked by like people, like, all right, who do you want? So, you know what they're saying?
We're still winners.
No, I know you are. But listen to me on this. You know what they're saying? They don't believe you're going to bring one person to the meeting.
You say so?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I say it.
Just hide and watch.
It's the truth.
Hey,
It's the truth.
hey, that's what they're saying. Hey, look, either you can, like, this is your time, they can prove them wrong, or they were right picking you last. Remember in the game, playing, like getting picked for basketball or kickball and being the last one picked, did that suck?
Yeah.
Well, this happens. You know what ended up happening?
You can't do it.
You can't say that.
Well, I want the #1 team captain, so I
Alright, we'll see. And if I keep all look at this, look.
I need to go.
You know what happens? No, you know what happens? It's usually the nicest person, like, oh, you guys win, it's okay. Like, you know what happened with my situation like this? This young lady would always show up to the office, super nice, but never bring anybody. Make sure everyone, like, if they're in competition, you win. I just want you to be happy. Just the R, right, guys? Like, it's okay, right? You beat me. It's all good. Are you happy? All right, I'm happy. Like, seriously. Okay?
Well, not everyone comes.
But they're also the one that has the most friends.
They have the most friends. So you ready for this?
And I can yell louder than him.
All right. She calls, listen to me on this, she calls all of her friends. Hey, you know, if you ever need somebody, you know you always call them, and am I there for you? They say yes. Well, this time, I need you. I got embarrassed in the office that not one of my friends will show up for me. I got picked last. We're doing an attendance competition, and they said I don't have friends that will show up for me, and you know I always showed up for you. I'm not asking you to join, but I'm just asking you to be a friend and show up for me. I want to show them that I got friends too. Dude, this lady ends up bringing a bus load of people. I'm not kidding, guys. She brings 10, 15, 20 people to attendance, and they end up winning because of her. Guys, we all have it in us. But you see the competitiveness that came out at the end? Did you guys see that? And this is pretend and she got pissed. Do you see how good this is? Yeah. Guys, we're pretending that he was last and he was pissed. Why am I last? She's like, why did I have to lose? Because we're practicing and you see, I don't know what got more pink hair than her shirt. Right? Like, why did I have to lose? Guys, when you add competition to the mix, it removes work from it. And it replaces it with fun. If I tell you bring people to the meeting, oh, it's work. But if I add competition to the mix, now it's fun. Like, oh, hell no, I'm bringing people. You guys follow me here. I'm not going to be the reason why my team loses. And now there's those people like, oh, okay, I know what they're doing or whatever. Like, those people will never make it. They'll leave themselves out. They're just not team players. They're smarter than everybody else. But they're broke as hell. Yes or no? Yes. Guys, don't worry about those people. You know what happens? We start changing who we are because one sophisticated person comes to the meeting like, hey, you guys are a little like too rowdy. You should be a little bit more professional and more of this.
Turn down the music.
So turn on the music a little bit. No, I'm serious.
I turned it on.
And we start, no, but let me tell you.
What did you
we
say?
start changing little by little, and those guys don't know what it takes to build a business here. It's not just being like, guys, we're a professional business, but it's okay to be fun. That people look forward to showing up. That it's not just corporate America. They're trying to change us to corporate, but we're not that. Corporate America sucks. I'm just being real with you. Corporate America, and I hate to say it, guys, but it really does. Look, guys, people only work. I remember as a 19-year-old, I already realizing like I never want to work for corporate America ever again. And don't get me wrong, it pays the bills, you do what you got to do, but guys, you're better than that. And let me prove it to you. Hey, let's give my volunteers a hand. I remember getting a job as like a stock boy. Like you stock this thing, you show up to work like at 8 p.m., sometimes 10 p.m. How many of you guys have ever worked at a grocery store before? You guys know what I'm talking about. They get there at night, pallets get there, they unload them, they stack up the store, right guys? So I remember doing that. How many of you guys have ever done what I'm talking about? Did you guys ever do that? So you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So back then, I remember I was making 12 bucks an hour as a 19-year-old. I'm like, man, this is okay. Until I found out my friends were making $18 an hour and $20 an hour. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, why are they making way more money than me? And I'm like, okay. But I'd seen that they were like, when they were like putting stuff in the grocery aisle, they're like, no BS. Boss comes around, they're like a little bit more rhythm. But they're just like super slow. And I'm just competitive. I'm watching them. I'm like, boom, 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 boom. I make it a game. I'm like, dude, all right, like you guys. I'm like excited. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna beat these guys. Like they don't know if they're in a competition, but they're in a competition. So I like smoke with the guys. Like, hey, dude, like you already finished the whole aisle? I'm like, yeah. What do I do next? He's like, bro, you're so stupid. He told me that. He's like, we get paid by the hour, not by production. And I'm like, what? I'm like, well, I'm like, huh? Like, what the hell? He's like, yeah, dude, you're making us look bad. Slow down. They already told me that. I was like, this sucks. And that guy makes 18 bucks an hour. I was making 12 bucks an hour, and I outworked him. I was way more productive than him. And then there was 4 other guys that would do the same thing, and they're just slower. They do their thing, take their time, super like nonchalant. You guys follow me here?
Yes.
And I just told the manager, I'm like, hey, I'm not saying pay me more. I'm just saying pay me equally as much as them. Oh, they've been here that long, they're veterans. But I'm like, I get that. But if I can outwork your 4 guys, to me, don't I deserve to at least make what they're making? Like, he laughed, there's no way. These guys are trained, I train them. They've been doing this, there's no way you'll beat them. I'm like, let me prove it to you. You put them on one side of the store, and I start on the other side of the store. And if I beat them, just pay me the same. He's like, done. He chuckled like, this guy's idiot. I'm like, one thing though, don't tell him I'm doing it. Don't tell him what I'm doing. Just let them be their regular selves, and I'm my regular self. You'll see. Okay, let's do it. The next day, dude, game on. I'm like, what side of the store is harder? The left side. Put me on the left side. That's okay. By the time we were done to me in the middle, I finished over an hour early, and those guys were still behind. I'm like, and then I told him, I'm like, go check my work, it's done. He went, inspected every row, like there's no way. He inspected it. Those guys were still not done. He's like, you got yourself your raise, congratulations.
Should have said recruit.
And you're gonna be the supervisor now. I wanna make sure that they're working. Those guys, they freaking hated me. Like, the kid is my boss now? Hell no, I'll quit. The guy's like, well, quit. He's like, and he just kept on working, and he quit because he needed to get paid. But he was so mad. But trip out on this, guys. Like, this is what happens. Like, hey, this is what you got, but don't expect a pay raise in a very long time. I'm like, what? That sucks. Yes or no? What motivation do I have to work harder, guys? They would put me in the freezer, and I would be sweating in the freezer. How many of you guys have ever worked the freezer before? If you work hard in there, you sweat. Yes or no? Or maybe just like you sweat. It's hot in there because you're moving. I noticed, like, dude, if I work fast, I'm doing my stuff, whatever I gotta do. I'm not even cold. So I'm like, dude, corporate America sucks. I already realized that no matter how hard I work, I'm gonna get paid just like everybody else, and people that have been there longer, they get paid more. That's just the rule. So that's when I'm like, you know what? When they show me Primerica, I'm like, wait a minute. I work more, I make more, I build more, I can make like, this is unbelievable for people that have work ethic, yes or no? Yes. And this is unbelievable for people that are lazy too, because you just hire someone that has work ethic and you override it. Yes or no? That's amazing, right? Guys, my upline Susan Never was like a big producer or nothing like that, but she was a great mentor. I didn't need her to be a great producer. She's a great mentor for me. I don't think she's ever wrote more business than me ever in her career, like not even close. But she didn't need to be. She was just a great leader. You guys follow me?